Howdy, 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 howdy. We are back at it again. Alrighty. Sorry about that. I was texting and not streaming. Sorry. Um, this is gonna be an awesome day. Let's get her started. Let's get her started. First, we got some weirdness here. Trying to right some wrongs. So everything inside of here. Oh gosh, damn it. Okay. Oh, it's weird. Hold on. Oops, I may have done a boo-boo. There's a reason some of that's there. So that can go. Neighbors scraping their driveway. So I try to copy paste a huge part of this scene, and it Stack Overflowed. So I got like some holes I gotta correct. Try to get those knocked out real quick. Patch this up. Really, I'm just gonna make walls right here, I think. Gonna get this level kind of in decent shape, and then Going to build another one. But what I need to do is determine I'll think about that later. Let's go back into orthographic, top down, get those sweet selects. Okay, now we're going back to perspective. I don't need the ground tile. We're going to duplicate, bring it over here, rotate. How are we going to do this one? That's how we're going to do it. Is that okay? It's okay. All right, let's close the gap here. Go. So the roof of the strip club. That's a tricky one. The dive bar's roof is like a perfect example of how a roof should be. Let me fix it actually. I think that's it. So the back face isn't rendering, right? So you can see in, but then you come in, if you're zoomed in, you have a roof. So I need to do these. I still want the roof visibility to be, what the hell is going on here? Oh. We'll see. When we get out of prefab mode, I'll fix that. Annoying hobbitses. I need like a square or big. Oh yeah, I know what I was gonna do. So let's save our work here. Let me think here. So we're back in the scene. Let's hide this and let's bring in shops. Let's see what this looks like. This will give me the decor for the other two buildings I have. Yeah, I need food. Like a convenience store would be great. Shit, this could be... I wonder if this is cut up into levels. That would be amazing. Oh, buddy. Hey, man, what's up, Volt? Yeah, this is the the kind of shop stuff. Here's let me show you the level I'm working on. I'm looking for, I've got rooms I need to fill with stuff, so I'm gonna be this is using my toon shading and different techniques for lighting and all that. Yeah, I kind of got this vibe. Let's go back. Yep, URP. Got tired of just testing my game on a flat plane grid with like a few obstacles, so got things going again. Let's unload this for now. Play. So it's kind of a top down, or well, it's a turn-based extraction RPG survival kind of game. This is a level I've been working on last night just to have something better than a really boring little area. So I put some work into this test level. Now if you come in, the roof renders, because it's only the back faces it's only set to render the front. No, I'm not baking lighting. I'm using the Forward Plus render. So here, what I'm doing, the Fog of War is using post-processing and some shader magic to do all the like revealing and hiding. The roof on this one isn't ready yet. Been really working on my pathfinding and some other stuff. I got like this weapon modification thing. Start it. I got to link it up to my actual weapon system. Indirect lights. So let me show you. It's pretty dark. Why is there... Oh. Hold on, I gotta fix that. Yeah, so let me check out the lighting situation here. Got some ceiling in my alleyway. Make sure everything's covered here. So how would you do the indirect lighting you're talking about? gotta fix that, but let's fix this first. Oh yeah. Yeah, no, I went with the RP. So roof exists. Yeah, and I haven't even optimized this map yet. I'm probably gonna add a couple more sections. Okay, I gotta fix that. Oh yeah, okay. Back to the alleyway. This is Unity 3D, Jesse. Let's see. Yeah, I do need to brighten it up a bit. So the fog of war is partly to blame there. Ooh, let me get this mistake corrected. Everything look good on the inside still, except for that. That's bugging me. I'll show you the guys the bunker base here in just a second. Kind of like home base, where you're coming back to. So let me, I think I can enable that actually. I thought I did have it already. Let me fix this floater real quick. Whatever, it's good enough right now. We good. All right. So, Real Toon Shader is what I use for the toon shading. I'm pretty sure there's an option there for that. Let me find the player. Outline screen space. So I think that's what this is. So if I go, I can thicken up. Yeah, that's true. Put that back. Let me go look at an example real quick, or how. So it is screen space outline shader.
Hey guys, it's Matt. Welcome to Speed Tutor, and today we're going to be looking at a URP-based outline shader,
Something
which
like
uses
this.
screen space outlines to do the effect, and it uses the render pipeline asset. To do it, you can add a little component, set some layers, and create the outline.
No, this is
smoothly.
outline.
Do make sure to check out all the links in descriptions for all the best savings in game dev Unity for this month, and check out my Patreon. See his GitHub page, and it's got some basic set font, and then we'll need for the outline. And I'm just going to work, and it's best to turn off MSAA in the rendering.
Oh, gotcha. Do you have a link to an example?
Now, if we click on the main URP high fidelity, so when I
see what the result is here.
Problems or any fixes specifically, and if you find any issues, fixes, and be sure to post on Robin's GitHub if you find any problems or any fixes specifically for any issues, and do let me know about performance, but I want to be doing. So I hope this outline effect helps you out and you check it out, mess around with the settings, post down in the comments what you find, and if you find any issues,
I totally think I want it if it's like what I just saw.
Post down, helps you out, and you check it out, mess samples where you can choose different, so if you need to render the geometry through other pieces, you still get the outline no matter what you're doing. So I hope this out
like this. Gotcha. Let's see, I swear. Did you write your own, or did you use an asset, or you just find a tutorial?
Let's switch. You gotta go to render everything except, if that makes any sense. Please let me know by leaving a like and subscribing. I think I'm gonna outline an object in Unity. So I hope you guys like that. I hope it helps with the other tutorial I made for how to render outlines in Blender. All the directions. This part takes the outline scale, the outline size, and makes it consistent with all scales of an object by dividing it with this scale. And that multiplies it to that. So it makes if we put in the multiply, I'm going to try to find out how to make other shaders like this that are better than ones you can find on the internet. And
See if I
with
can
that,
find something
I
around
will
it.
see you guys next time.
Parameters for settings, thick and making variants or anything crazy like that. We're actually going to cheat a little bit and have a super simple clone of our in all use cases, but when it does, I think it adds a lot to the visual presentation that was otherwise missing. And that's it for today's video. This is just a starting point. Always be on the character layer or the outline layer, but our ghost object should always be considered part of the world layer. And now, when our character is obscured by something in the world, we can see more of them through this ghosted silhouette effect.
Oh, I want this.
It's a super simple hack, so it obviously won't work in all use cases, but when it does, I think it adds a lot to the visual presentation. Our vertex shader will populate our struct, making sure to flip the image around if the graphics API has its UVs flipped. And then we'll start with our fragment shader to build the outline. Essentially, this works a lot like a blur shader. We're going to take our pixels and offset them up, down, left, and right shader, which we now need to actually write. Post-processing
Yeah, if you
shaders are a
would, send
little
it to
different.
me.
Now we'll start with the outline itself.
I'll
and deal
totally
with the
check it out.
compositing later in the video. Post-processing scripts are weird because they're actually comprised of two different components, a settings class, and
I wanna
now
do
we'll
this
start with the
outline
outline
thing.
itself and deal with the compositing later in the video. Post-processing scripts are weird because they're actually isn't already installed into your project.
It's
Head into
the
package manager
same
and grab it.
as
I've already
mine.
got a post-process on our main camera here, just to make the scene a little more vibrant. We're actually going to write two different shaders for our outline and two different post-process effects. For now, we'll start with the outline
It's
itself. and deal with the compositing
DAMOSHU.
later in the video. Post-processing scripts are weird because they're actually comprised of two different components, a settings class and a renderer class. We'll start
Yeah,
by
because I think
creating
this would
our
really
outline
make it
settings
pop.
class.
So I
These
actually
settings
want
are
to try to
essentially
implement
everything
it.
we'll want exposed to the user in our
This bastard's gonna make me type it, isn't he? Loyal. Hey, all right, cool. So now I got a new objective. Let's see what it'll look like with an outline, screen space, shader. Okay. What is it doing here? Whoops. Drag it in, create a material of it, put it in the renderer. Okay. Oh. This is gonna look good, I think. Okay, so that's outline. Okay. So when you say put it in the renderer, that's in the would be the render options. And put it in the render. Just like a mesh renderer, or like you talking like globally? Add a full screen shader. Oh, render feature. Okay. I was gonna say, I know those. And then full screen pass feature. Okay, okay. Oh shit, that's cool. Why is it only affecting some? So how do you, why is it like, let me hit play, maybe it'll change. Okay, I think it did. Let me turn the brightness up though. I appreciate this, man. I think this is gonna look good. Let me find my lights. Wrong light. I'm gonna change the skybox so I can see better. But I think I'm loving it. I just can't see it very well yet. Oh yeah, that's what I should have done. The bar. To the bar. Oh shit. I like it. Yeah, I think I'm digging that for sure. I'm gonna make her 360. Yeah, I like that a lot. Oops. I didn't know you could do that. Like, that's so fucking cool. Is there a way I can toggle it? Yeah. Man, thank you. That is something I needed. That just makes it pop. Oh, that's so cool, dude. All right, let me show you the bunker base and see. So like, I know a lot of people don't know it, but no Quasimorph or like Cataclysm Dark Days Ahead. But I wanted a turn-based like survival RPG kind of game. That's where you, like, if you're not doing anything, time's not moving, and when you're moving, everybody moves and does their thing. So you got like your home base here that you gotta bring back. If you find solar panel, you bring back stuff to power it, all that goodness. And then hit play. So this is still a work in progress, but I gotta, with the line render, this is gonna look a lot better. Holy shit. Anyways, this is like your world map. I'm apocalyptifying it. This will look completely different. It's all, but you pick your place where you're gonna go, then you go loot, and then you try to extract out and come back. So it's kind of like the world map war table. Here's your like hydroponics. Oh man, that line render. Hell yeah. Hydroponics, your server intelligence, like communication room. You got your garage where you can that just allows you to stay out longer, travel faster, and offload your inventory into it. Oops, I forgot to put that on pause. This is water storage and purification. Yeah, so, and then basically, yeah, you go out into the world, you try to take over, discover, and loot as much as you can. Thanks, man. Thanks. Been putting a lot of work into it. I just want to capture that because I love Cataclysm Dark Days Ahead. I love like Quasimorph and more turn-based games that, you know, like, it's not so much Twitch survival. It's, you know, you can think and kind of, so you can control it with the WASD or with the mouse. Oh, let me show you the combat too. Really, I'm close to that content creation stage where I just gotta start making stuff. Sure, send it my way. What does it do? I live in my chaos. What was I doing? I don't know why my font's super tiny up there. Edit. Editor attributes. That's pretty cool. Having to monitor it's so damn tall over here, it's breaking my neck. Oh my gosh, I can't get over this line renderer. It's so much better than the one that the Toon Shader was rocking with. So let's see here. So badass. Thank you, homie. So one of the techniques I've been using, because I'm single dev and I've been using a lot of assets from the store. So like this one, for the Synthy stuff, if you look at like my character, like smoothed out, where she's in the dark. I got my own like face texture that I'm going to animate there. Everything's smooth. It's still low poly, but there's no like blockiness. The cell shading. So like anything that has that too blocky look, like this chair kind of here, what I've been doing is finding the mesh and then doing like, I don't know, 30 on the smoothing angle. And now it looks less blocky, right? Try 45. So that's one way I can take these models and make them look a little smoother. That might have been too much. Yeah, we'll go 30. Yeah, so yeah, smoothing normals. It's a like for your hard edges, you true hard edges, like these really aren't. The Synthy asset packs, everything's a fucking hard edge when you take the models into Blender. So you could go into Blender, remove the hard edges, apply the smoothing, export it back in, or on the mesh options here, just set your smoothing angle. And make sure, I think you have to be on calculate on normals, but I think it's just an easy way to kind of smooth out some stuff that looks super blocky. Like here, I'll do it on these guys. So I'm going to write a script that will let me highlight a bunch of models and then set the smoothing angle. So I can, because again, that's something I got to do as I'm finding more assets that I want. Actually, I can just highlight all these and do that all at once. I don't really need a script. So look, were these guys all sharing the same model? No, I don't think so. Yeah, they weren't. There we go. Now look at it compared to the rest of them. It's, like for guns or something that you want to stay hard, like, or if you want to manually reduce the blockiness of something, go into Blender and take those hard edges off, and then that'll be smoother. But this is a fast, easy way to do it in Unity. See, look at that. Look at that change. So this is how, thankfully now with your outline shader, the toon shading, the normal smoothing technique, and the fact I'm remodeling some, or I'm basically modeling my own characters, trying to stay away from, that look. And I will retexture and still shape environment stuff. But thankfully, due to disposable income, I've got shitloads of assets oh no, what happened here? Oh no. Why are you so tall? I gotta grab it all, don't I? No. There was me not checking my snapping afterwards. Do you know about vertex snapping? I'm sure you do, but you can snap vertices together by holding down V. I love that so much. What did I do here? Oh, I'm not even fixing the whole problem. Shit, so hopefully that's not, it's just that area. The private or serializable field private thing. The attribute or whatever. Are you talking about saving them from the properties? I think I do. I use them a lot. Like this here. Oh, properties. Yeah. How do you serialize it? Same way, or? Okay. I don't want to fix all this. Tell me it's just that one bit. Oh yeah, I forgot. This is that bad area. Something got messed up in a cut and copy, a bulk one. All right, let's get some fixes going on. Got enough level design done for now. So I had an idea for the lights right here. One, we're at no swing. No. If I need to do anything, I take it into Blender. I export to FBX and then bring it back. What was I thinking? I've used ProBuilder to cut up a crate and make it destructible, but that's the one time I used it. Otherwise, I'll just go in Blender. What did I do? Oh, badass. I think that's working. So I put a revealer on the lamp. So now the fog of war where there's lights. But oh damn. What's your game project you got? Take turn. Is this the intrigue? No action. Try to take turn for 6. Hold on. I'm trying to talk to my artist. Sweet. Let me go download that bad boy. I'm working hard trying to get to a vertical slice done enough to create the materials to list on Steam. But I got a lot of content creation I got to do. So, man, I'm still so damn thankful for that outline thing too. It's gonna pop. Dead shot. Wish listed. This looks so badass. I love the retro shooters, man. Like, I grew up on the Super Nintendo and 64 and all that, so it's a vibe with me. I definitely love it. How do you get the PS1 like texture effect going? Dude, that's looking good. When do you think you're releasing? Nice. Oh, it's such a vibe. So I need to light up that menu. I need to get shooting working again. I've broken it for the player, I believe. Oh, that's interesting. Let's check that out again. So now I got the enemies in here. The outline renderer. That's kind of strange. So can I toggle that renderer? Hold on a sec, I got a call. All right, I'm back. Did you see that though with the line renderer? Or the screen space lines on the shooting? It's kind of cool. But I think I want to be able to disable that. So let's see here. Disable Unity URP, disable render feature script. Yeah, I gotta disable it on action camera. I gotta fix that wall. Let me see here. Okay, so I'm gonna do this. See if this works. Are not affected by light. Okay. Disable render feature. But since that's I guess I only have one. Full screen render pass. Ah. I've only got one full screen render pass feature, so if I do action, so we go show here. This is a long one. Pipeline asset dot disable. What's the simpler way? Ah, thank you. So, muchas gracias. Okay. Where is my property? Oh, I got an error. Duh. I'll close this bad boy. And then delete. There we go. Oh, what was I doing? Crap. So on show, this feature would be, I'll find the number for it. On index 1, can you rearrange them? Move it on the order. I can't move anything here. Ah, grazie. There we go. So now that should be good. Great stuff, man. Appreciate the help. Did I save? I didn't save. Perfect. Looks good. Sweet. So we get the good old vibes, and then, yeah. All right. Let's see here. We're going to fix the issue with not being able to shoot. I did something and broke it. So that you're meaning the after post-processing, before. Okay, yeah, let's try that. Let me disable this real quick. Because yeah, if it's injected before all that, it should look good, and I won't have to take it off. Because it sucks having to take it off at certain spots and it's not on, or, you know, I'd rather have it on 24/7. Well, look at that. Hey, S Scripts, what's up, man? Thank you for the tip, my friend. I appreciate you. I know there was like, what was I thinking? Just proving that this is working. Yeah, so cool. Thanks about that. Again, the injection point did the trick. So now let's put a breakpoint in. I did something to aggravate. Debug, delete all. So I should shoot whenever, so it's, the line is correctly telling me that I have an attack I can do. So now when I hit click, it should. It's valid shoot action. I gotta take this out. Ah, that. Okay, I know what's going on now. That needs to only happen on the movement. So let's take in. All this will only happen if it is the move action. And then they'll try spending their points. Okay. Very good. Very, very good. Now that should be fixed. There we go. We're back in business. But it doesn't end my turn. That's a known issue, so let's make a note of that. Um, fixed. So I'm working on this one here. I think this is done. No, it isn't. No, it isn't. All right. So the shoot action. Where are you? On complete. I wonder why this isn't ending the turn. Oh wait, sorry. This is for the base action. I don't want that. Oh, which package was it? The editor attributes? Oh, yeah, I can do that. Good plan. How's it work? Oh, that's badass. So, I mean, that showed all the scripts, right? Not actually implementation. Oh, let's see here. Oh, I see what you're doing. So this is your examples on the attributes. Or am I still doing it wrong? Oh, that's cool. So that's really badass right here. That's some cool shit, man. Trying to think like where I can implement it right away. Send me a link to it. I'll watch it. Yeah, I want to think of the best way to leverage it. The hell was I thinking? Also, I'm gonna follow you. You're a cool dude. Appreciate all the back and forth, the chat, and the help, man. My brain is Okay.
Imagine this, a solid, responsive inspector. Tables, colors, buttons, everything. Complete customization without editor scripts. And only a couple of lines of code. The amount of time that you could save from doing all of this manually is just introducing editor attributes. Editor attributes is a free Unity package that you can use to completely customize your inspector with very little code. This is so easy to learn, and there are lots of attributes that helps us do this. This package is made by Volt. He has been supporting this channel for a long time, and I'm thrilled to talk about what he has made. Make sure to stick until the end of the video to know about the practical use cases of these attributes. Let's dive in. First, to the page ATP, click on the attributes. You must be using the editor attributes namespace. If you are using assembly definitions in your project, make sure to add editor attributes as a reference to it. We customize the inspector by adding an attribute to a serialized variable or an object in our code. All public variables can be serialized, which means we can add an attribute to them. We cannot serialize private or protected variables unless you mark it with the built-in attribute serialize field. For objects of custom non-behavior classes or structs, we have to use the system.serializable attribute to serialize them. We cannot add an editor attribute to a static, read-only or const fields as they are not valid to Unity serializer. And finally, you cannot serialize interfaces because it does not make sense to do so. The order of execution of attributes is from left to right. In some cases, the last attribute can override the effect of the previous one. In this example, we have a string dialog with a prefix attribute that displays text, and after that, we have a property width attribute that sets the width of the label to 100f. In the inspector, the prefix would not be visible unless we decrease the size of this window. This is because the prefix was set before setting the property width, and it doesn't know how to update the position of the prefix. We can fix that by setting the prefix last or by using the order parameter, which is present in every attribute. The default order of all attributes is 0. So we can set the order of property width to -1 and get the desired effect. Also, we can put each attribute on a separate line if we want to make things look nicer. Check out the official documentation to read more about this and everything else that is covered in this video. Now let's look at some of the most useful attributes. Starting off with my new favorite, the button attribute. This is awesome. It simply adds a button to a function and basically call the function on button press inside the editor. We can specify the name of the button and it appears on the button. We can use this function to, let's say, randomly spawn enemies or generate a procedural terrain or anything we want by just clicking on it on the inspector. If your function has parameters, they will be displayed under the button as a foldout. We can also enable or disable a button based off a condition as well. This is what makes editor attribute so powerful. We will come back to this attribute a bit later in the video once we discuss how conditions work. Just in a little bit, we'll talk about coloring this button as well. Let's move on to my second favorite, the required attribute. This shows an error box in the inspector when an object field is not assigned. This is so handy when you want to assign references manually via the inspector. Let's say you have a lot of animations for various types of enemies. You can mark them all required and you can see which one has not been assigned. This doesn't give us an error when we play, just a warning sign. The type filter attribute is very similar to required, but it allows the developer to only assign objects that are or derive from the specified types. This is useful to filter multiple types. In this example, we can assign only sphere colliders and box colliders to the field, and capsule colliders or anything else won't work. It is best used to filter types that implements a certain interface. The read-only attribute simply makes the field read-only in the inspector. Useful to show things that you can't change in the inspector, but be able to read it. The prefix or suffix attribute adds a prefix or a suffix to a field. One example where this could be useful is to indicate units. For example, float speed could have a suffix meter per second. It's great for clarity. The rename attribute renames a field but only in the inspector. Useful when you want 2 or more fields to have the same name in the inspector. This also has an optional case type parameter, which just formats the string on different case types. The title attribute allows us to draw a fully customizable header. You can pass in a string for the title, an optional integer for the size, and an optional bool to draw a line under it. We can also add a text anchor and align the title with the inspector. This attribute supports rich text as well. The hide label attribute hides the label of a serialized variable which it is attached to. This becomes really useful once we talk about void struct later in the video. The property width allows us to adjust the width of labels, not the fields. It gives us more space when used effectively with Unity's multi-line attribute. The GUI color attribute can be used to color the GUI. This means that it can color all labels and fields below it. Here we have assigned 3 colors in 3 ways to 3 groups of variables. We can use GUI color.
Yeah, this is really
color
cool,
name,
man.
or specify 3 float values, or pass in the hex value as a string to modify the default color, which is white. The color field attribute instead can be used to color a specific field in the inspector. This overrides the GUI color attribute, so it can be useful in many cases. Quick tip: the attributes GUI color and color field can be attached to button functions as well. The line attribute is used to draw a line in the inspector. We can also specify a float for the opacity. The min-max slider attribute is used to draw a min-max slider. We can specify the minimum and
Holy
maximum
shit, man.
range of the slider and assign it to a vector2 or a vector2.
Good work. And really
asset
good
preview
work.
attribute can be used to preview an asset in the inspector. We can also specify the preview width and height.
Holy shit.
Similarly,
It just
the
keeps
image
coming.
attributes draws an image in the inspector. Use this while working in a company to prove your dominance and possibly get fired. Let's talk about more buttons. The inline button attribute adds a button next to a property. You can pass in the name of a function using the name of expression, and it will appear right next to the field. In this example, I added an inline button
That is
to an integer
freaking
called
sweet.
lives and connected it to a function that just increments it by 1. We can provide an optional label for the button and a float for the width as well. As of recording this video, the function cannot have parameters. The selection buttons attribute displays a bunch of values in toggleable buttons. This can be used with enums and collections, and this draws the values as buttons. You can use this directly on enum variables, but you would need to provide a name of the collection if you're using a collection. You can specify float for the height and a bool to show label or not. We can add the built-in flags attribute to the enum. This allows us to toggle multiple buttons, just like how you can select multiple values from the dropdown. Speaking of dropdowns, the dropdown attribute can be used to create a drop-down menu of elements. We just specify the name of the array or list and it will give a drop-down of that. Very cool. You can take this to the next level with the scene drop-down attribute. It makes a drop-down containing all the scenes in the build settings of your project, which means no more manual typing of scene names, which is prone to errors. If this attribute is attached to a string, it will get the scene name. If it is attached to an integer, it will get the scene index. Really
Badass.
game changing. Tag dropdown attribute simply makes the dropdown of all available tags. This can only be attached to a string. This completely eliminates the chance of errors when it comes to tags. Sorting layer dropdown attribute does a similar thing, but it makes a dropdown of sorting layers. This can only be attached to an integer, and we can select a sorting layer. The help box attribute draws a help box in the inspector with a custom message. You can specify
That's
4
badass
message
right
modes. None displays a simple text box. Log is great for logging things. Warning displays a warning message. And error displays a red error box in the inspector.
That's so cool. Hold on, I'll be right back. Gotta get some water. Alrighty.
Help box also supports rich text. There are more general attributes that I have not included in this video that are simple but with less use cases. You can find them all from the official docs of this package. Up until now, we discussed some general and decorative attributes. Now, what makes Editor Attributes a powerful tool is the ability to work with conditions. Before we get into that, we need to talk about the coolest part of this video, void struct. There is a struct inside the Editor Attributes namespace called void, and we can use this like an empty field, just blank, which means we can add our attributes to it and the field is not rendered in the inspector. Does that make sense? It means we can use this struct to create a structure type variable that works as a holder property for a group of variables. This is how we can make complex tables and conditions work very easily. Let's see them in action. The message box attribute. With this attribute, we can add a custom message and pass in the name of a condition using the name of expression, which could be the name of a simple boolean variable, and now if the variable is true, the message box appears. The condition could also be the name of a custom function which returns a bool. In this example, we can have a list attached to an empty holder, and we need a condition, a function that simply checks if another list has a duplicate with the help of the distinct function, and returns a bool. Now if you assign duplicates, the message box appears. We can pass in a boolean to the attribute to draw the label of the field which it is attached to. In this case, it is the void holder. If we set it to false, it will not render the label of the attribute. We can also assign message modes here as well. If we didn't use void struct, then the message box will appear for each member of this list. The message box also has support for rich text, so you can fully customize this. The enable field and disable field attributes can be used to enable or disable a field based on a condition. In the case of enable field, the field will remain disabled by default
That's badass.
until its condition becomes true. Once again, you can use a function to represent a condition and make this thing a lot more flexible. You can also use enums as a condition like this. You pass the name of the enum variable and then pass which state you want to check for. Cool. Remember the button attribute? We can add conditions to it as well. We pass the name of a bool variable or the name of a function that returns a bool. In this case, we need to specify a condition result. Condition result.enable disable will enable or disable the button based on the condition. Condition result.showHide will show or hide the button instead. You can also pass in an enum as a condition as well, just like the previous ones. Show field and hide field attributes can be used to show and hide a field, again based on a condition. In the case of show field, the field will remain hidden by default until the condition becomes true. You can also use enums with this as well. The conditional field attribute is pretty powerful. With this, we can show or hide a field, but based on a bunch of conditions. We can specify a condition type, in this case condition type.and, and give the names to the booleans to evaluate, which could be bool functions as well, and it will show the field only when both the conditions are satisfied. We have condition types of and, or, NAND, and NOR. They work similar to the corresponding logic gates. We can specify a condition we want to negate from this by creating a bool array. So if we add new bool, false, true in this order, it will negate the second condition because it is true and won't negate the first condition. True means it will basically evaluate something similar to using the not operator on the corresponding condition. The fold.group attribute lets us display the specified fields in a foldout. This is where void comes in handy. We can specify some fields, use a serialized void group holder, and use this attribute. We can give it a name and then pass the name of all the fields manually. We can pass in two floats after the group name to specify the width of the label and the field. We can also pass in a bool to draw the group inside a box. We would also have to hide all the fields manually using the hide in inspector attribute. This is done to avoid duplicating the fields. Toggle group attribute allows us to display the specified groups in a toggleable group instead of a foldout. This is straightforward. The horizontal group attribute draws all specified fields horizontally. We have to use a void holder and simply group them together. The fields need to be serialized, but we shouldn't want them to show in the inspector. Therefore, we have to use hide in inspector to avoid duplicating the fields. Vertical group attribute does the same thing but displays all fields vertically. This is best used alongside horizontal groups to display fields in tabs. Really cool. The final attribute for today is the data table attribute. It draws the members of a serialized struct or a class in a table. This is so simple and straightforward. Whatever struct or class we have, display all its members on a table. We can also use this on arrays, which is pretty cool. You can also use a boolean to draw in a box and another boolean to show labels as parameters in the data table attribute. Here's an example of how you can use multiple attributes in harmony with one another and a practical use case where they are just so handy. Now this is a repetitive task and it's important to stay organized. Let me explain how I made this very quickly. This is the player script and I have all my variables ready. Properties of jump force and crouch speed are enabled only when they can jump and crouch. Below it are the variables for a completely different section for attacking. And a weapon prefab is required. All of these variables are hidden in the inspector and will be redrawn with the grouping attributes. You can see that I've shifted all of my code for customizing the inspector inside regions. For each block, you can create a region by writing #region and give it a name, and you can close it with #nRegin. You can then put all your code inside it. This way, all the clutter won't get in your way during development. So make sure to use regions. For the attack block, I changed the color, added a header, made a foldout group, and grouped all the attack variables. For the movement, I added a header and then created 3 horizontal group holders for movement, jumping, and crouching. I added GUI colors wherever I want and hidden them in the inspector. And finally, on top of everything, I added a vertical group. Another one giant vertical box over 3 horizontal boxes. Another example would be this playtesting script. Buttons are really handy in this case. I created a bool called isTesting and I've made it so that all fields will only get enabled if I set this to true. And I've created an array of teleport points. I've added an integer next teleport point index to switch between points, and just for fun I made it read only. And finally I created a function to teleport between teleport points and assigned a button which enables on isTesting. You can use a button with a parameter as well, but I find smashing buttons more fun. You can see how they become really useful. It's not mandatory to use them, but it will greatly save your time in the long run. And that's it. Let me know what you think about the package and make sure to check out the developers channel.
That's
Link
really
below.
badass, dude. I'm gonna use it for sure. I likes it. Oops. So he should melee me when I get to him. Oh, I didn't mean to shoot him. There we go. So I need to add their melee weapon to the hiders. Okay, so all that's fixed. Alrighty. So what am I thinking? I am thinking this can go bye-bye. All you can go bye-bye. Just disable it for now. I might need it for reference in the future. Okay. Let's see. Okay, actually, wait. I need to confirm something's fixed. I think it's fixed. I just wasn't thinking about it when I was testing last run. So now if I shoot you, will my turn end? And it did. Now I gotta get up and punch you, just to be sure I tested all the scenarios. No, so the characters are heavily modified. I did modify them in Blender, but I started from a working 3D model that was rigged, a humanoid. So my blend file is messed up right now, but a lot of these assets I've purchased, the characters I've customized, some of the environment stuff I've customized, but the characters are very different from. They're my own take, my own art style, the head shape, the coloring, the outfits. Where are they at? So, yeah. Using a lot of modular assets and ones that kind of match the same theme. Then I've cell shaded a lot of the art, messed with the normal smoothing on the models, and then did a full screen outline, so you kind of got black lines outlining everything. Where's the player? But yeah, the faceplate is a texture instead of geometry, so I'm going to animate the textures and switch expressions using a texture material swap or whatever. And then like the characters all smoothed out, no blocky lines, and the cell shading, you know, kind of toony cartoon anime kind of look. But yeah, a lot of the assets are from a certain company that does asset packs, and I'm just updating them as I need. So like, this is one of the modifications I usually make to their assets. I smooth the normals out, so now that cup is a lot smoother looking. Something I gotta go batch do whenever I get done here. So like, look at that cup now. It's really blocky. And then it's smoothed out. I think 45 is too much on that one. 35. Anywho, stuff like that. So yeah, this is a level I've been piecing together since yesterday. I copied this half, pasted it over here. Now I'm clearing it out and going to reshape and make other buildings here. And I got a building down here I got to redecorate. And then I got to light this side too. But I think I'm going to do some software programming and stuff instead of level design. Yeah, Polybrush. I don't know about Polybrush, but I've used splines with like Cinemachine, different things. But I've used splines before for like dolly tracks for the Cinemachine, all that. Okay, let's continue to figure out something here. So oh no, I haven't done anything where like it's spawning stuff. Well, yeah, with Gaia and Gina, I use splines a lot there with that asset, but I'm not using them here. What was I thinking? Oh, my to-do list, that's right. So this is working. Pretty sure this is working. Oh, I need that. I bet you I have that one already. Looking for some cables. I know where it's roughly at. we go. Oh, I think. Said I wasn't going to do level design. I want to just get some power lines and cables running. But now let's do this. So this is partially fixed. Oh, let me think. What do I want to do? I need to add in hit chance and probability or skill and all that too into let's see, get him chasing me. Oh yeah, I want to test this. So this one street lamp has a revealer. So where it is, a certain area will be revealed constantly. Yeah, see, whenever they walk into it. So that guy right there is visible because I'm looking at him. Oh, I thought he would be. Oh, the revealer can still hide. This is what I want. All right, Volt man, have a good one. Catch you later. Do you stream or? I'll hop on one of yours here soon. Damn it, what was I thinking? This is what I was thinking. So he's hidden, even though I'm 100% sure he's in a revealer. Where did I put it? Oh yeah, it's nested. it about like that. We'll just call it 1. Oops. And since the obstacle mask is nothing, it will visually, lights will stay lit up for the player and not reveal unless you're looking at the light, you won't know someone's underneath that light still. So let's go back here. I'm going to copy. So I'm looking at them. They're in my field of view. I can see them. Now they're not. Even though that one's in the light from the lamp or the revealer. See, the other street lamps kind of go dull. Let me play the Fog of War. Could make it less dark, but I kind of like it just being pitch black where you don't know. So you can see them. Can't see them. Their guns render just so I know where they're at right now. Yeah, because I'm not looking at the street lamp. I wouldn't know someone's under there. But I do like that it's brighter than every light having a revealer too. Nah, I don't know if I'll do that. Or if I'm going to keep that practice up. So let's disable it. Let's go to the Fog of War. Let's take that up to 3 seconds. And we'll go 0.1. Quit shooting me. Well, you know what they say. What am I doing? Oh, I didn't lighten this up at all, did I? Still pretty. All right, so keep tweaking away. Yeah, that start point seems to be back there. Oh no. It's fine. It's slightly off compared to the shoot points. That's what's bugging me. Let's see if it's the same story here. Oh, his is spot on. I wonder if it's just because I'm facing the opposite way of him. he doesn't kill me before I get there. Damn, he's gonna kill me. Alright, whatever. Where's this wire? Come over here, buddy. Oh, what could I put? It's whatever. Scale it just a bit up. Okay, now I need lamp. Oh. Guess I should have done light. No collider, huh? So now we're going to add a light. We'll go with point light. Do. Not the most sensical. Focus on combat. Worry about visuals another day. So what I want to do. Give me just a sec. Be right back. I'm making warming up some spaghettis. Just a sec, and then I'll get back at it. Oh shit, sorry, I've been working without talking. My mic was muted. They could be taller. Still looks good. Nice addition. Yeah, let's make them taller. Let's see what that looks like. Looks pretty good. Kind of dark. Still. Kind of like the dark though. Let's brighten it up some, I guess, for the screenies. Hello. Alrighty, screenshots taken. Time to flaunt them. Do 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 do. Alright. So I got some power cables in here. Just trying to spice things up, get them feeling cool. Cool and groovy. So now let's... I think we still got enemies, don't we? Yeah, we do. All right, so I need waters. Might be too much, too crowded, but you know, we'll find out. Alrighty. So let's hit play. Let's investigate our fog of war. Starting to just look really good, and I love it. Damn, it look good. They call me gangster. Alrighty. Why aren't you attacking? Is he off his tile? He's not quite center. What to do? This is coming from his barrel pretty reliably. Whereas mine is coming from the side. So I gotta fix that. But I don't know of any different. They both got the same gun. Shoot point. It's there. Shoot point's way. The hell happened? My shoot point. Oh, shit. Mine to his. His is real close to the barrel. Why is mine further from the barrel? Oh, because I got the muzzle flashlight. Okay. That shouldn't throw anything off though. Oh, I guess it do. Just blast me in my face, why don't you? Yeah, what the shit? It's got to be code related, because that's like there's an offset happening. And I don't like it. And it must be only on player turn. Okay. So let's look at the shoot code. Take action. Can shoot bullet. We're going to shoot. We start our shoot. Oh, where are you at? Unit animator. We get the shoot point. The new shoot point. This has got to be because I have that light there. That's got to be it. So he's got a point light too, though. It's just not on right now. Yeah, no, that's not the problem. Oh, I know. I don't ever care about this. Get shoot point. Get shoot point. If the unit is enemy, it's not an enemy, return shoot point transform that position. If it is an enemy, do this. That's the problem. Now my bullets should be on track. I wasn't watching shit. Look at that, out the tip of the gun. Looking pretty good. Must say so myself. Well, that's an issue. So let me walk forward one. I'm going to walk backwards. He's not visible. But I can tell he's there because of this. Which isn't right, so I need to line renderer will highlight enemies that aren't visible to player. Prevent this. Okay. Because see, I'm looking away, I can't see him. But I can tell he's right there just because of that. So now if I look back, there he is. He can pop me. Almost need a light for this because depending on where you pop it up, the gun's going to be dark. So either I change this to an always lit texture or unlit so it'll stay the same color and not be affected by lights. which again is kind of a pain, but hold on. I'm back. I am going to take a small break and then I will get back on here in about an hour or so. So I will see you guys then. Talk to you later. Alligators.